Hey everybody, it's Pastor Matt here, and I'm excited to continue our journey through Psalm chapter 23. And again, we are looking at Psalm chapter 23 as a template to help us pray. And so we've been looking at line by line, and so this is session number 9. And so let me share with you Psalm 23, verse 4. It's going to be the last couple of words. I'm going to read you the full verse first of all, okay? It says this: "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." So I'm going to look at those lines. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So just a little bit of information about this rod and staff. So I did a quick little Google search, which is my go-to way of studying the Bible sometimes, unless I want to dig into one of those books behind me. But I looked a little bit into what did David mean in Psalm 23 when he talked about your rod and your staff. Now, I don't have a history with being a shepherd, and I don't have any sort of information about working with sheep, but other people do. So I learned two important things that will help us understand what the rod was and what the staff was. Now, first of all, the rod, from what I understand, a rod was used for disciplining, okay? So you used a rod to discipline a sheep that was maybe doing something it shouldn't have been doing, or for whatever reason that a sheep would need disciplining. You used a rod to discipline. And a staff had a very different function. A staff was a taller stick, and sometimes with some sort of tassel or some sort of something on the top of it to give it, to help you see it better. And so a staff was meant not to discipline, but a staff was meant to provide guidance. So if you can picture a sea of sheep, and they're all kind of at the same eye level, and if the sheep are looking for some guidance, they're looking for a marker. And so this staff was often used as a marker of where the shepherd was, and the staff was used to help herd the sheep together to take them a place. Now here, what does this mean for this short little verse we read? It says, "Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." Listen to this. So both in God's discipline, and we don't like his discipline, we don't like his correction, but both in his discipline, the times that he corrects us and has to remove things from our lives, and in those times where he gives profound guidance, both of those things are used to comfort us. Okay, so just listen to that. You don't feel that way. When God is disciplining you, you don't go, "Oh, this is great. God is really comforting me." But he is our good shepherd, and he knows the best things for us. So sometimes God's discipline of us is so that he can bring us comfort in the future. And sometimes you need a surgery, not for an infection or a problem that is seen by the naked eye, but because there's internally something going on that is going to cause future damage. And so God, the great surgeon and the great shepherd, is able to discern those areas that we need discipline and correction and surgery and repair in us. And it may not feel comforting in that moment, but there's a purpose behind the pain, because God has something he wants to do in us that will be good for us. It will bring us comfort in the future. The same with the staff that provides guidance. So I think that we just need to hold both those things and hold the tension of both moments of discipline and chastisement and rebuke, and those moments of profound guidance. But both of those things equally are moments for God to bring us comfort. So as we pray for people in whatever season they're in, where they're feeling that God is giving them divine direction from heaven and divine perspective, that is meant to comfort them. In the same way, those people that are experiencing discipline and correction and conviction in their lives, the purpose of those things is that God's comfort would flow into their lives. Both are necessary. So again, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. So as we pray that people would experience discipline where needed, and they would experience direction where needed, both of which are instruments that God can bring his profound comfort into areas of our life that need it the most. So I hope this blesses you. Hope this is encouraging to you. I pray that this sits well with you and that you are able to walk in it yourself. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.